In the Hebrew Bible, there's actually two Hebrew words that we use to translate to the English word hope. There's yachal, to wait, and kavah, to wait for. It's this interesting idea, isn't it, that hope is simply waiting for something? But that's actually what it is. You see, kavah, this Hebrew word that we get hope, is actually related to cord. Kav is the Hebrew word for cord, and it's this idea, kavah, that you're pulling a cord tighter and tighter and tighter until the tension builds and it snaps. You see, it's almost like this rubber band. You see, as I pull it tighter and tighter, maybe even as you're watching this, you feel your body tense up, this anticipation that something's going to happen. There's a building, an anticipatory waiting, kavah. We feel it coming. It's a trust that we know something is going to happen. This is the Hebrew understanding of hope. Check this out in Scripture. This is Psalm 130, beginning in verse 5. It says this, I'm counting, kavah, on the Lord. Yes, I'm counting on Him. I've put my hope, yachal, in His word. I long for the Lord more than centuries long for the dawn. Yes, more than centuries long for the dawn. O Israel, hope, yachal, in the Lord. For with the Lord there's unfailing love. His redemption overflows. He Himself will redeem Israel from every kind of sin. You see, we see both words used here, and it's this idea that there's an anticipation. I love the New Living Translation translates this as counting on the Lord. You see, there's a trust that God will do what I know He will do. We see this all the way throughout Scripture, and the Hebrew people understood waiting on God, hope on God, as looking back on their history. You see this time and time again. Hope was looking back and seeing how God had showed up for them, how He provided for them, how He rescued them, how He saved them, how He intervened in their story. And the idea of hope for them was looking back and saying, if God did it then, God will do it now. I can trust that God is still who I know Him to be. And so there's a kavah, anticipatory waiting until God does what I know He will do. It's a trust in God's character that when God promises something, He follows through. Towards the end of this passage I read, it says that with God is unfailing love and redemption that is overflowing. It's this idea that I know who God is, and in His time, He will follow through on His promise. Well, so what does this have to do with Christmas? Well, Christmas is where we remember that God follows through on His promise in a huge way, because the Hebrew people were given this promise in the Old Testament Scriptures. This is Isaiah chapter 9, and it says this in verse 6, For a child is born to us, a son is given to us, a government will rest on His shoulders, and He will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. His government and its peace will never end. You see, Christmas is where we remember that there's a baby that is born who changes everything. You see, the Hebrew people were given this promise and they waited. They put their hope, yachal, they kavah, they waited with anticipation for a child who would change everything. And Christmas is when we remember that baby that changed everything, Jesus Christ. God's ultimate following through on His promise. The ultimate reminder of God's faithfulness, that when God promises something, He follows through. So maybe this Christmas season finds you in a season of waiting. Where there's a situation you're facing, a loss of a job, a health scare, a relationship that you're longing to have restored, and you're in a season of waiting, unsure how things are going to pan out. Well, maybe we can learn from the ancient people of Scripture that the season of waiting could be more than just wishful thinking or optimism, but it can be a trust on God to be who we know Him to be. A reminder that God follows through on His promises. And so today, as we light this first candle of Advent, the candle of hope, we remember the light of the world. Scripture says that the light will shine in the darkness, and where the light shines, the darkness will not overcome it. It's a promise of God, and God always follows through on His promises.